Greetings, seekers of galactic supremacy and technological wonders. Welcome back to our riveting Discovering Warhammer a Reaction series. I'm Morend, and today we embark on an extraordinary chapter of our exploration through the vast realms of Warhammer. In this episode, we delve into the enigmatic Necrons and the innovative Tau Empire. Necrons, ooh.
The Necrons are spooky, scary skeletons and very grim.
Spooky, scary skeletons.
They have a much more fleshed out lore than before. Back in the day, they were just undead Egyptian space terminators, and they.
Oh, that sounds so cool.
They actually have a story. So way back in the day, you had the Necrontyr.
Necrontyr.
Theme here: Eldari, Eldar, Krork, Orc, Necron, Necrontyr. So the Necrontyr were this race of generally kind of shitty people. Not because they were personally shitty, because their lives were awful. They were ill-fated to a horrible existence of like radiation and a terrible planet they lived on, and everything just really sucked. Being a Necrontyr was just really.
Is that an actual like map, or is it fan made? Oh wow, what is that?
They were extremely reliant on the hope that they would eventually find the key to living forever and just stave off this horrible nature that they were thrust upon them, and therefore.
So the Necrons are an intelligent species, then.
Race in the galaxy, and they found this group. They're called the Old Ones. Imagine them kind of like the Forerunners in Halo or the Xel'Naga in StarCraft, right? These
makes
old
sense.
Ones were these
shout out Didact.
Pretty much omnipotent beings, and they of course knew the key to immortality. So the Necrons went to them and said, "Please, show us your ways." And the Old Ones said, "Piss off." Not really. They were a lot more humble about it, but they did not want to share their secret of
I don't blame them if I'm honest.
Necrons. The Necrons, of course, took this very well and waged war with them, kind of under this united banner. The Necron different dynasties didn't really like each other, but under this one man, the Silent King, he thought the best way to unite his race was to.
It's almost like the Taken King from Destiny.
With the Old Ones out of spite for them keeping the secret of immortality to them. This was known as the War in Heaven, and this is actually like a multi-stage war, because during this war,
surely not actually in heaven, right?
The Star Gods, a whole new race of people known as the Catan.
A Catan.
These Star Gods were also.
They look really cool. Rip though.
And they too had the key to immortality. And so the Necrons went to them and said, "Hey, can you help us fight off the Old Ones? Can you help us kill these Old Ones, you, the Catan?" And the Catan said yes. And in fact, we can help provide you with the immortality you so desperately seek. So the Silent King of the Necrons decided to make a pact with the Catan to allow them to accept this generous gift of immortality upon them. But this, of course, had been a horrendous trap.
Oh yeah, it was a ruse. It's always a ruse.
In chains to this biotransference, where their flesh was stripped from them, replaced with nothing but a metal hollow shell, as their souls were ripped from their body and fed to the Catan. And the Catan fattened up. They got chonk on the souls of the Necrons. As this was their plan all along, they consumed the flesh and souls of the Necrontyr and turned them all into unwilling robotic slaves. Oh,
so they're not intelligent then.
With their new
were.
Necron army, they pointed their guns at the Old Ones, and the Catan continued their domination of the stars and their genocide, complete and full.
Sounds like a real genocide.
These Old Ones. The Old Ones did their best to stave it off. They even created other races, the Eldari and the Orcs, to try to fight off the horrifying Necron army and the Catan above them. There was absolutely no possible chance for them. And the Old Ones were absolutely extinguished across the galaxy. Their entire race completely removed. Full-on 100% genocide. However, during all this, the Catan
so the arcs were made by the
fighting each other for
Necrons.
For small differences.
And then the Necrontyrs killed the Necrons.
People, they're going to eventually hit each other at some point. And as they began just menially fighting each other, the Eldari and the Orcs actually started pushing on the C'tan's borders a little bit, giving them a little bit of a run for their money.
Is that what he just said? Did I hear that incorrectly?
The Silent King, who retained his consciousness, decided to leap into action and start a full-scale revolt against their C'tan masters. And this revolt was bloody, as the entire Necron army was surged off to destroy these star gods. They were able to, just after suffering horrendous losses, were able to turn the tide of the war. And they took these C'tan and they blasted them. Because as these star gods are unkillable, they were able to break them into thousands of shards and entrap them in giant stasis vaults to now actually be slaves to the Necrons. And with the Necrons having the entirety of their old gods enslaved to them, they realized that soon their race was about to be attacked by the overcoming new races, the Eldari and the Krorks. And so what they did is they retreated into giant stasis tombs in order to preserve their energy and their strength for when one day they would be reawakened and they would be able to rule the galaxy that was rightfully theirs. And then some dingus Adeptus Mechanicus guy diddled with a green console, and now the Necrons are back, and they see all these primitive races on their lawns.
I'm Adeptus Mechanicus.
Get the fuck off of it. The Necrons are back, super advanced, and they are here to reclaim the galaxy that they so rightfully believe in.
So they were woken up early, very early.
I like that. Tons of undead Egyptian skeleton robots that when they die, they just get right back up because they keep on reanimating. Hard to kill.
I can see why he calls them Egyptian.
Use the C'tan themselves as units to fight.
Because I don't know if you guys remember. I'll put on a picture on screen if I find it. How Egyptian mummies used to be drawn. That's how the heads look.
And the awakening of the Necrons are all pretty substantial events. And the Necrons themselves are pretty dang cool as well. Here's a good quote from a wonderful Dawn of War game. Lucky creatures, as long last you have found the tranquility of death. I was like you once, clinging to life and blind to the truth. When I uncovered the truth, I too shuddered and paled with fear. Deep in these catacombs I was remade. Here my brethren slumbered for eons while the living grew like weed. My Lord knew this day would come. He had plans for us all. We would purge this world once more. So come, poor victims of life. We will grant you tranquility in these crypts. Kronos will be a tomb world once more.
Damn.
Trays in the Infinite especially.
Mr. Steelio girl.
But speaking of dickheads, last race. Let's talk the Tau.
Oh, the Tau.
The exact formation of the Tau Empire is not entirely understood. However, a long time ago, many thousands of years ago, in the 40k world that is, some Imperial navigation vessels
those ships are still awesome. Areas,
and they saw a primitive race, blue people, smacking each other with sticks and stones. And they thought,
Avatar.
Dumb Xenos race, who gives a shit, and they bailed. Then this giant warp storm occurred right in that major area, unable to be breached. Then, once that warp storm 6,000 years later subsided, hello, those little sticks. Well, they decided to actually have no war of any kind, and
they've just evolved
unite together under one flag of the Tau Empire, and now they have gigantic starships and Gundam robots and lasers and railguns and mechs, and they are here to ruin your day for the greater good. That is generally the Tau Empire. They have this kind of feeling of this homogenous group. All species can go underneath the banner of the greater good. The greater good is their idea of the fundamental increase and help of all. In fact, they are most likely the most like the Covenant in Halo, where they have the overarching being the Ethereals, who are actually kind of dicks and like to pull at strings a little bit, but then you have all these different races directly underneath them, and they all work together in this big group as this large, foreboding race that tries to spread their
he looks like a fucking bounty hunter from Star Wars.
The galaxy. The alien is not intrinsically evil. Do not hate him. Pity him, his ignorance. Seek to understand his differences and equate him with his inadequacies. Only then will he accept his place in the greater good. That is generally the Tau. And if you're kind of wondering like what their mainly big shtick is, well, they're all about big robots and mechs. They have laser rifles and rail guns. They got giant mechs with tons of missile pods and heavy rail rifles and rail guns and burst cannons and ion accelerators and void shields and all this stuff. And that is generally what the Tau's all about. But you're probably thinking, Bricky, this doesn't sound that evil. This doesn't sound very grim, dark Warhammer. And you'd be right. The Tau Empire really don't have that much of a horrifying, grim, dark style like everybody else. They're much more younger, new age thing. In fact,
Yeah, they
probably a
look
lot
like
less evil and a lot even better than they are now. Back in the day,
they look
because
almost like
they
Guardians
like
from
to have,
Destiny.
like, that good guy faction. But a lot of us who really like the dark, depressing
Oh,
style of Warhammer,
that's
we
fucking
don't really like it that much.
dope.
So, see, the Tau get a lot of hate, and a lot of that hate isn't necessarily unjustified. It's mainly from a tabletop perspective, but as you can see from all the visuals I've shown you recently, they don't really fit in the 40k universe very well. They lack that super dark, dramatic, kind of high gothic level of the Imperial.
Yeah.
They don't have the weird kind of like grungy stuff that Chaos or say the Orcs do. And the Necrons and the Eldar have their own specific style as well. The Tau really do look like something out of Gundam. And while it isn't necessarily a bad thing, it does definitely not fit too well. There's that. There's also the tabletop problem. In tabletop, Tau are horrible at melee combat, but exceptionally good at range combat. So they blast everyone from really, really far away, and they have a million rules to make it so that it's nearly impossible for you to get into melee combat. So it basically just forces you to bottleneck the game into one specific gameplay style, which is gun to gun. And if you're doing gun to gun, they're going to win every time, because they're the Tau, and the Tau are really damn good at shooting. So it's one of those things that make the Tau generally rather hated, and a lot of different reasons for that, both from style and such. But this is actually one of the things I wanted to end.
Their heads, I feel like they definitely take inspiration from like Star Wars drones.
You should not be discouraged from playing them. I'll make plenty of Tau weeaboo jokes, of course I will, but it's all generally in good fun. Anyone who legitimately doesn't want you to play a faction is an idiot, and you shouldn't be giving them the time of day. You pick what you think is cool.
You guys pick whatever the fuck you want. If anyone judges you, tell them to fuck off.
Worse, they grow and then they fall. You should only be playing what you think is cool. You like the look, you like the models. If you're talking tabletop,
never be ashamed of something you enjoy.
You think is badass, because
you have happiness.
But
if somebody tries to take that happiness,
has so much going
I'll put it down in any way. They don't have happiness.
Every character has a story, and there's a million stories to be told. The universe is vast and exciting, and while it is dark, depressing, and horrible, that is the damn charm. And out of everything I've told you in these two videos, if there's anything you could take away, is the reason why so many of us are so into this series and why we like it so much. Because with so much variety, such an expansive universe,
and
so much that can be done, you can find yourself having a pretty great time. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it has been informative.
You're welcome, Bricky. It has.
More of me, Bricky. You have twitch.tv/Bricky for my streams. You have my merchandise site, in which
go check out Bricky, guys.
My merch, but underneath this, because I had to wear this so it wasn't black or white for the green screen, which is a little unfortunate, but it's fine. If you'd like to see merch, it is in the description. Also, if you'd like to support me on my Patreon page at patreon.com/Bricky for more videos like this, then that would also be wonderful. So Twitch, merch, Patreon, anything if you want to support, that would be fantastic.
Right, fantastic. I'll leave this up here for you, Bricky. So, guys, that is Bricky's 2 every single Warhammer 40k faction explained videos. I'm not sure if it actually was all of the factions. It definitely was factions and not like sub chapters and stuff like that, and chapters. So that's something I can get into depth with in some previous in some upcoming videos, I should say, not previous. But yeah, the Necrons and the Tau. The Necrons, I was a little bit confused. So they were intelligent before, and they're not intelligent now. Are they more hive mind now than they were before, or what is the deal with them? the way he explained it was kind of rocky and a little bit confusing. So I know they were sort of intelligent before they got into bed with those gods, but then afterwards, I'm not sure if they were still intelligent or not, or if they were more like primal. The Tau as well. The Tau, I were not expecting them to be like that at all. When I saw that they were blue the first time before I did this video, I was expecting more primalness, more like the blue people from Avatar. I guess I sort of think, I thought of, maybe that's just in my own mind because that's the only thing I could probably compare them to, apart from the Kree in Marvel. We're also blue. But yeah, I wasn't expecting them to be like, oh, we are very adept at weapons. It's like, I thought they'd be more adept than that, considering the sort of technology they have. It feels like they rely way too much on their weapons. But obviously, if that works for them and they can win nearly every single time because of their ability with their weapons, then so be it, I guess. And it'd be interesting to see a couple of these different factions fight. You know, the sort of ones that are like, oh, we have like fucking billions of like soldiers to fight this war, sort of thing. Maybe not billions, but you get what I mean. It'd be cool to see. But anyway, guys, that's gonna do it for episode 8 of Discovering Warhammer. And I'm not actually sure what the next video is going to be. I'm gonna go back through my old videos, see what people have commented for me to watch, and I'm gonna pick a couple out to record over the next couple of days. And I know I keep saying I'm going to upload Tuesday and Friday, but recently I've been hammered with work. I do night shifts, so I'm not always able to record at the moment because I started a new job recently that is night shift. So but I'm gonna try my best to at least get a video out a week, if not 2. And if they're not on Tuesday, it will probably be like the day after. And if it's not Friday, it'll probably be the day after. So if you don't see the video at 9 p.m. British Summer Time or 4 p.m. Eastern for the US guys, then just check back the next day and it'll probably be out. And what I'll do is I'll start updating my Twitter as well, so that way if you guys want to keep updated, that way I can put a tweet out and say, listen guys, video's going to be out tomorrow instead. But also check the community section on my channel. I post messages in that, letting people know when videos are up and going out and stuff. But yeah, one thing I've noticed about the video series I've been doing with Warhammer, 73% of you guys are not subscribed. 73%. That's a big number. If you have enjoyed the videos and you want to contribute more towards the series in the future, provide me with other things to watch and react to and learn about, then please do post comments in the videos with links and stuff like that. But yeah, for those 73% that aren't subscribed, if you could do me a massive favor and please do subscribe if you enjoyed. It helped me a lot. I'm trying to get to partner and I'm almost at the midpoint of that, which is 500, which will allow us for channel memberships and a couple of other things that'll be quite useful for my YouTube channel. So please do subscribe, it means a lot, and please like the video as well, it helps the algorithm put my video out there in the future. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.